Fortunately, I wasn't that good in art history. He's painting 2 ships on the open sea, maybe during a battle.
Good God! Who goes there, prithee?
My name is Manny. Manny Calavera. Yeah, I am the Grim Reaper. I didn't want to scare you, Mr. Manet. Your reputation precedes you, you know.
Well, you flatter me.
But now, enough with the pleasantries. That's not why I'm here.
I guess my time has come.
Correct. But not entirely accurate. I could give you a second chance.
Anything, but spare my life. I beg you.
Add me to your painting, then. In the sea, possibly large and highly visible.
But that's a preposterous demand. It would be completely disproportionate. Not to mention that it would absolutely ruin the scene's pathos.
Do I take that as a no, then?
Forgive me, Grim Reaper. You'll have your wish.
I think I see something that glitters in the net. Serves me right. Next time I'd better mind my own business. Catching it fresh is okay, but that's a bit excessive. I've never been a big fan of fishing. Jumanji, a game for those who seek to find a way to leave their world behind. Surely life in the wardrobe ain't easy, but it's better than living in the jungle. I'm almost tempted to leave the first roll of the dice to you. That blood does not bode well at all. I'll come back later. See you then.
"28 days, 6 hours, 42 minutes, 12 seconds. That is when the world will end. A storm is coming. I'm here. Come closer. "28 days, 6 hours, 42 minutes, 12 seconds. That is when the world will end. A storm is coming.
Wrong turn. There's something unhealthy about asking me to do this. It could even work, if it weren't so idiotic. Nope. Stop asking me to pick up unnecessary things. Time is money. Sometimes these professional apple eaters get too caught up in the competition. Your firecrackers or your life?
Do you think you can scare someone dressed like that?
Not even a fly.
Now that I notice, I've never seen a more ridiculous Halloween costume.
Really awful.
I'm afraid I will just have to come up with something else. Nowadays, our generation is too desensitized by TV and video games. Thanks a lot, HBO. It won't work. I'm running out of ideas. Everyone has a good plan, which will not work. Hey guys, can I have some of your firecrackers?
Ask your mother to buy you some. And get out of our way. Can't you see we're busy?
Oh, God! What's that terrible smell? You must absolutely take a bath. Grab this.
How, if he couldn't even sing his own song? They come up with all kinds of excuses to mask their hoarseness. Grandma, 2 kids are out here making fun of me.
Is someone being mean to my little Ronnie? Brats! Don't worry, honey. Now Grandma will take care of them. You should have seen their faces.
Days.
Better not bother him again.
Be quiet!
Do you need some more bubble bath by any chance? I have a bottle of it here with me.
Okay, you can go in. You can lay it down on the bubble bath shelf.
The character designer of this video game must be slightly obsessed with robust personas. What are you doing locked in here?
I'm enjoying some well-earned rest. I work as a security guard at the City Museum, so situations like this don't come around that often. Luckily, Ralph, my cousin, hates Halloween and offered to cover for me.
A security guard for the museum is really necessary on Halloween night?
That's what I told the union. But do you think they listened? Anyway, take this. To repay the favor of the bubble bath. It's a bit wet.
I don't even want to know where you kept it.
The museum is closed to the public, but you can enter with this pass if you find yourself in that area. If you go, let me know if that midget has everything under control.
How to lose your beauty in 30 seconds. Oh no. I've seen what happens in jail. First rule for good personal hygiene, never neglect your own personal hygiene. And here I thought you were the only one with such a low IQ. I don't want to risk cracking my phalanges. Well, it's water resistant for sure. Not before he's done with his bath. It wouldn't be very polite emptying the water while he's still having his bath. Never mind. It's fine where it is. Someone should really tell him not to use all those bath salts. It wouldn't be very polite emptying the water while he's still having his bath. The best way to attract likes on social networks. Maybe you're used to this, but certain self-gratifying practices are not my thing. Let's just say my soul is not the only thing death took from me. The revenge of millions of goldfish ruthlessly flushed down the toilet. I don't feel right putting it back in a glass bowl. Why don't you sit on it? You're having a lot of fun in there, right, little one? If it's any consolation, I had the misfortune of seeing such intimacies, too. What are you doing locked in here?
I'm enjoying some well-earned rest. I work as a security guard at the city museum. Luckily,
A security...
that's what I told you.
Only thing missing was the poser dinosaurs. Winter is coming. Isn't it a bit dishonorable for a knight to keep a shawl on its shoulders?
Do you have any idea how cold it is in this tin box? I'm almost 1,000 years old now. I must think about how to protect my bones, too.
Isn't it time that you retire after all these years?
I'd like that. Believe me, I'd like that very much. But unfortunately, the Duke has never paid for my honored services.
I never knew David Bowie recruited knights.
I'm not talking about the thin white Duke, but about the black Duke.
Ah, I see. Why would I need a facehugger when I've already got you, perpetually breathing down my neck? Expect something like this inside my next gift bag. Sorry guys, but I can't fill my sweater with thorns. It's a trap! Monkeys are always so adorably irreverent. Don't even think about starting some strange snowball battle, I warn you.
Though the plant kingdom can seem harmless, there's an incredible variety of ways it could lead to your demise. In the Renaissance era, belladonna was used by ladies as eye drops to give a certain shine to their eyes. But its berries are potentially lethal. The oleander, one of the most common flowering plant species in the Mediterranean area, is poisonous enough to be avoided instinctively by the whole plant kingdom. Beware the classic health axiom of an apple a day. The seeds, if ingested in large quantities, can actually cause death. In short, if you're vegetarian or vegan, your days are numbered. Eat meat. Though, come to think of it, meat causes cancer. You all die. The reasons leading to the outbreak of the Second World War are various and complex. The conflict lasted for 6 years, from 1939 to 1945. The parties involved and battlegrounds fought were numerous too. After all, they called it a world war for a good reason. Therefore, what we propose today is a brief, intense, and pragmatic summary of the entire conflict.
Funny.
I got a D in history in junior high, so go easy on me.
When I was young, I always dreamed of having one of these all of my own. And I still dream it now that there's one in front of me. Unfortunately, the only thing I could realistically take here is that bouquet. And I will not do it. I'm afraid it's just a showpiece. They'll have only left the external bodywork and very little else on the inside. Surely the rodeo act that's both most amazing and inappropriate of all time. If I were you, I wouldn't make fun of that missile. That big Nazi of a doctor is still giving thanks. One of the first ticking bomb models. I suppose the percentage of severed limbs caused by the early explosion of hand grenades has drastically declined since their invention.
Don't you dare touch anything!
With such threatening bows, I can only imagine the effect it would have to face them on the high seas. Druidic potions, basically the equivalent of modern homeopathy. Why do I have such an idiot player? It certainly cannot be said she doesn't know how to sit on that throne. You look like you're waiting for someone.
I'm waiting for one of my countless suitors to get the nerve to come forward.
What would keep them from doing it?
Exactly what I've been asking myself. I'm afraid everybody is too scared of my beauty.
The burden of being so beautiful, yes. What should this mythical Prince Charming be like?
For centuries now, I've been waiting. We queens too have certain needs to satisfy. I just want to find a good mummy to spend the rest of infinity with.
That shouldn't be so difficult after all.
Don't rub it in.
What happened to the pharaoh?
The servants found him dead, poisoned by the bite of a snake. I remember I was so angry with him. Not that the two things were connected, obviously.
Of course, of course. I have a dilemma.
Don't you think you're too young?
What?
You can't be more than 15. Well, it's true that my beauty transcends age after all.
Actually, I didn't want to hit on you.
Do you think I'm not attractive enough?
No, absolutely, you are. I didn't mean to.
You better.
I'll leave you to your undertakings, my queen. I don't want to be a know-it-all, but I remember these were used by the Native Americans, not by Egyptians. Perhaps it's the very last thing I need.
What do you want?
Do you like being a night watchman?
I'm filling in for my cousin, just for tonight.
Yes, he told me.
So you probably know I accepted because I hate Halloween. It gets on my nerves.
What kind of childhood trauma did you suffer to have such an aversion?
Once a guy slammed a gigantic pumpkin right on my head. It took 4 days before doctors could get me out of it.
Maybe that chair is a bit too high for you.
And to think it was the smallest one I could lay my hands on.
I suppose you needed a ladder to sit on it.
At least I can easily get to the console this way.
What about that heart rate monitor?
I'm a heart patient. I need it to check my pulse.
Maybe if you didn't drink so much coffee...
That's easy for you to say. Night shifts here are deadly boring.
Small, chubby, and a heart patient. Is there anything else?
Your sarcasm leaves me completely indifferent. You have the reigning national champion of the insult contest in front of you, in case you didn't know.
Nobody and nothing can beat my sharp tongue.
Show me then.
Do your parents have full-sized kids too?
Attacking my height. You can't think of something new?
Your Netflix subscription has been hacked.
Ugh! I'd rather prefer to be whacked.
Your name is the worst that I ever knew.
I wouldn't say that to Wreck-It Ralph if I were you.
Perhaps your heart has been pierced by Cupid's arrow.
Ugh! Just my luck he'd hit a target that narrow.
From the look of things, the pumpkin shape on your skull is still visible.
Ugh! The pain it causes me to talk of that fruit makes me miserable.
You will never be half the guard your cousin is, that's for sure.
Ugh! That's more than I can endure.
You'll end up with bad posture if you stay so long in this place.
Anything's better than the sight of your ugly face.
Behind you! An aortic dissection!
Ugh! Right in the chest with surgical perfection.
In my excitement of Star Wars The Phantom Menace, I couldn't stay in my seat.
Ugh! My asthma! I can't breathe!
I've never seen someone with a tummy so large.
Still better than having just bones and cartilage.
All that coffee will kill you. Be careful with it.
It gives me the energy to insult till you quit.
Quick! Emergency in the Egyptian room!
The mummies must have woken up to mock your ugly costume.
You have serious problems with halitosis.
You'd better be worried about your osteoporosis.
You're too tense. It isn't good for your health to do all that plotting.
Said the guy whose carcass is rotting. I thought you were better than this. What a disappointment.
Maybe that chair is a bit too high for you.
And to think it was the smallest one I could lay my hands on.
I suppose you needed a ladder to sit on it.
At least I can easily get to the console this way.
This time I'm sure I can do this.
Be my guest, newbie.
Quick! Emergency in the Egyptian room!
The mummies must have woke...
Your Netflix subscription has been hacked.
Ugh! I'd rather prefer to be whacked.
You will never be half the guard your cousin is, that's for sure.
Ugh! That's more than I can endure.
Behind you! An aortic dissection!
Ugh! Right in the chest with surgical perfection.
In my excitement of Star Wars The Phantom Menace, I couldn't stay in my seat.
Ugh! My asthma! I can't breathe!
Perhaps your heart has been pierced by Cupid's arrow. It seems to me he's short of breath. I warned you, but you wouldn't listen. Everything's fine in the botany room. The soldiers are still operational and in action. The Drakkar sailing is proceeding smoothly. The T-Rex keeps going with his training. Nothing to report from ancient Egypt. No sign of any visitors. I may have put the guard out of the game, but I remind you that the area is still watched by cameras. You take her as your wife if you like her so much. I don't understand how on earth that would work.